Cannot wait to see what's gonna happen. And yeah, so here we are at the main entrance for the Shanghai Rolex Masters, and yeah, we are waiting the other guys, the other hitters, and our leaders. So they're gonna take us in, and we're gonna start from there. Cannot wait to see what's gonna happen and when I'm gonna get on the court. Welcome back to another TENFITMEN video. As you could see in the intro, this will be very special video because this was my very first time to take part in Rolex Shanghai Masters or in any ATP event as a hitting partner. And I was so excited there. Maybe you couldn't feel it through that first video where I was talking, but I was so excited and I didn't know what to expect. So they took us around, we went to the locker rooms and we saw the whole facility, and then they just told me, oh, you're going to the grandstand court and you're gonna play with Mikhail Kukushkin. Oh my god, I was ridiculously excited and of course nervous. I knew who Mikhail Kukushkin is, but I really had no idea what to expect and what kind of training it will be. So they showed me where is this big grandstand court. It's the second biggest court here at Shanghai Rolex Masters after the stadium court, the central court. And then you can see there in the corner there are other hitting partners and the leader. They came to support me because I think I was the first one to step on the court. And yeah, as you can see on the sides, it was so windy. You can see the flags all the way up the stands. It was so difficult to play. And also, if you're familiar with the way Kukushkin plays, and some of the team members, they told me, be ready for some tough rallies because he can hit very fast and with some unique spin on the ball. And actually sometimes it's almost like a side spin, especially in the back, and you can see. Even though it looks like the wind is going sideways, but I think it was coming more from the opposite side towards here, towards the camera. And you will see in some moments that it was very tough. But anyways, I just remember it was so exciting and my heart was beating incredibly fast. I was just trying to keep that composure and enjoy the moment. But another thing is that I had so much pressure because they told me this first hit is so important. Like whatever you do the first time you step on the court, because then this player, he would either ask you to train again if he wins, or he might give some feedback to whoever organized this hit, and then maybe some other players will hear it. So if you do very poorly, then some of the friends there and other hitters, they told me from the previous experience, if somebody didn't do well in the first hit, they were less likely to be chosen in the next sessions or from some other players. So I had an extra pressure there. But anyways, I would like to tell you a few things about Kukushkin while you're watching our hitting through the middle. I don't want to talk too much about his ground strokes and the style, even though that's also very interesting. You can just observe he's hitting very fast and flat shots. First, let's mention how he got to the main draw, because at this tournament Kukushkin was playing the qualifying draw. And by the way, his highest ranking is number 39 in the world, and here he had to play the qualifying draw. There were two rounds. In the first round he beat Feliciano Lopez, who was the number 11 seed in the qualifying draw, and he beat him 6-3, 6-1. And then in the second round, in the final round of qualifying draw, he beat Matteo Berrettini, who was the number 6 seed in qualifying. Mikhail won 7-5, 6-4. And this warm-up was right before his first round match, which was against Albert Ramos Vinolas from Spain. And eventually he would end up winning the match 6-4, 6-2, Kukushkin, and then he would face Kevin Anderson in the second round. So that was just his road to the main draw here and then the first round. So you could see here the angles and the camera from different sides. I would just like to also tell you a few things about his career. Some of you maybe are not that familiar with him. Maybe you heard of him, but he had some incredible wins. And believe it or not, he has beaten the top 10 player for 20 times. So he has beaten 20 different players who were top 10 at some point. And I'm just gonna name a few. Fabio Fognini, he beat him 3 times. He also beat 3 times Andrei Rublev and Mikhail Kukushkin. He beat Grigor Dimitrov twice, and also Wawrinka and Ferrer. Both of them he beat 2 times. And then the rest on the list he beat once. And those are Gulbis, Shapovalov, Blake, Del Potro, Tommy Haas, Cacciano, Robredo, Tipsarevic, Monfils, Schwartzman, Bautista Agut, Cilic, Anderson, and John Isner. What a list! So that was really incredible. Like when I saw it, I was really impressed. That just shows how small are the differences between all these players, and basically each and every player at this level of a tournament, including the qualifying draws, they are all at such a high level that they can pretty much beat everybody, right? Even from the very top. So that adds a bit more excitement when you play with them, and just knowing that they have beaten the guys in top 10. So it's almost like, you know, playing with the best in the world. So it's really special feeling. And following the ground strokes here, he came to the net, and that's just the usual way to warm up for most of the players, which I learned later on as I train with a lot of them. So we first go through the baseline, and then the player will come to the net, hit some volleys, smashes, and then some of them would ask me also to come to the net, and then we will go through serves and returns. All together, on average, will be like 20 to 30 minutes warm up, depends. Some of them would do it a bit longer. Also, I wanted to just briefly mention his career results. In singles, he played the finals 4 times, and all of these finals were in the 250 series, and he won once. This was in 2010 at St. Petersburg Open, and he beat Mikhail Kukushkin. And the other 3 times he lost. Once he lost to Gasquet, once to Treitsky, and the last time in 2019 in France, he lost to Stefanos Tsitsipas. So now it was time for smashes. And as you can see, it was ridiculously difficult. And usually this is a part of the training that I like, I enjoyed. It's not too intense. You can kind of relax a bit, but at the same time you need to be sharp with your focus, because you need to deliver this the good high balls. But as you can see, it was very tough, because the wind was crazy that day, as I mentioned before. And you can see, just putting the ball up, it meant nothing, because the wind was changing as well. So literally impossible. It was just pure luck. You just hope, okay, hopefully this one will go in the right place. But Kukushkin did a great job there. He was adjusting to each shot and each smash. So it was good exercise for him as well, because he had to get ready for playing in windy conditions. So here we had a short break. It felt nice. I was finally feeling a little bit more relaxed, and I was able to enjoy. It was time for some serves for Mikhail, and I was trying to hit a couple of returns. And coming back to his results, in his earlier career, he played 25 finals altogether in Challenger and Futures circuit. At the Challenger Tour, he has 14-8 record, which is really incredible. And I was checking some of the interesting names that he was playing against. For example, he lost to Adrian Manarino in Turkey in 2010. Most of these are between 2006 and they go all the way to 2019, where he lost to Berrettini. It was in the US in a tie break in the third set. He also played against Marcos Bagdatis, lost. This was in 2014. So many familiar names. It's amazing to see that he has such a rich career in the beginning. So he played a lot of tournaments in the challengers and futures level, which is very important to see. And now I'm gonna just focus a little bit more on this training. So it's interesting how some players, when they are doing the warm-up, they really care about some details, and then they know exactly what they need to warm up and how to do it, you know, based on their opponent. So some of them would ask for a very specific drills or shots or patterns, or ask to focus more on one side, and then others, they will be just going through their routines regardless of the opponent. And also I would like to mention that maybe this is because the way I function, but the way I think of it is like when you warm up, you want to make sure that you have a good feel, good strokes, and that you want to always finish whatever is the exercise with a good shot before you move on, right? So if you're doing the volley, you want to finish with a good volley or with a smash. And I noticed some players do that, but then you have others who are like, I don't understand how. They just either don't care, or they just think it doesn't matter, you know, that one shot, because maybe they have a good feeling. And you will see here, Mikhail is like similar. He had a couple of like funny shots, maybe didn't feel the best. Of course, it was so windy, right? So it's very tough to get a clean shot every time. But you will notice even here on the returns, I was a little bit struggling. It's very tough. And there was also sun, right? Sun is on this side. I was facing the sun, and there was a lot of wind. So in the windy conditions, it's very tough to hit good serves and hit the spots. But I was saying, Mikhail would hit a couple of good shots, and then maybe he would frame it like that one here. And he does show a reaction where his body language changes, but then very quickly he shakes it off. And what's more important is that underlying feeling. And this last one, I think I hit the net on the serve. He hit that ball back in, but if I were him there, I would definitely ask for one more, and I want to have like a good serve coming and hit a good forehand there. But he just went to the other side. That was a pretty amazing backhand, where I pushed him all the way out and he was able to control it back. And you will notice another interesting thing, that he was trying to experiment where he's standing on the return. So he will either stand quite far, you can see this is like 5 meters behind the baseline. He told me to go for first serves, and then he steps in here and stands basically on the baseline as I'm hitting the first serve. So he was trying to see how to adjust his position on the returns. Remember, his opponent here was Ramos Vinolas, who is, by the way, a left-handed player. And then you can also see that he had these rackets behind, so he was always switching the rackets. He was testing the tension. He even went to the bench to check something out with the racket. And then again, he was moving and hitting different returns, just trying to find the right stroke, the right feeling. I was also giving my best to bring up the good serves so he can get that nice feeling. And now he asked me for the second serves. So I remember this. Yeah, sometimes on the second serve I would feel a little bit more pressure for some unknown reason, until I get the feeling. And you can see here also I missed this, so I missed basically 2 in a row. And obviously on the second serve he was stepping in more. And this one also touched the net. It was very, very tough. Once you get in that, you kind of miss one, and then you want to make sure that you don't miss too many in a row. And you could see at the end here, this is exactly what I was talking about. It was a good serve, but his return was almost framed. But anyways, that was it. So I just finished my first training, and it was a hit with Kukushkin. You can see back behind on the scoreboard, he's playing Feliciano Lopez, and I will definitely show you some of the moments from our training, and it was unbelievable. I really feel so excited right now. And it's very tough conditions, it's very windy, but it's unbelievable. Just need to enjoy the moment. I think I did okay. Definitely not the most relaxed training ever, but yeah, hopefully it will get better and better. So, and I hope he plays good in the next match. So now have some little break, and we'll see who is the next hitting partner. All right, see you later. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun. If so, let us know. I still have a couple of more videos like this, so I will try to post them soon. And yeah, feel free to follow us on all the social media. And I will see you soon in our next video.